24th, 2020. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Please write it over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll? All right. Before we start with the agenda, are there any persons present that wish to address the City Council on any item on today's agenda? No, I can't see downstairs. We're supposed to be able to see them. There we go. Okay. Hearing no comment, we'll close public comment, and we'll move to, let's see. To item A2. Madam Clerk, could you call it?
Inglewood residents against taking an eviction, Murphy's Bull LLC, and other entities and individuals in furtherance of the potential settlement of claims arising from the proposed development of an CEQA review for the Inglewood Basketball and Entertainment Center projects, as well as obligations of landowner of the farm.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. And now that's both items, all right. So now we're going back to the beginning of the agenda.
Want to take the time to sign them, Mayor?
Oh, yeah, I'll take the time to sign them. Why don't we bring the item up so I can sign it?
Come on up, Royce.
You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go to DR1, CSA4, H4, and P1.
Say that again, Mayor, I'm sorry.
DR1, CSA4, H4, and P1.
Departmental report right after consent.
Departmental report on page 6.
Staff report recommending approval of amendment number 1 to agreement number 20-020 with Kane, Balmer, and Berkman to provide legal services on behalf of the city successor agency, Housing Authority, and Parking Authority.
That's to City Council, move item 1. And as to the City Council, successor agency, Housing Authority, and Parking Authority, move item 1.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
City Council, successor agency, Housing Authority, and Parking Authority members Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Item CS1, CS5, and P2. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. We already took care of those.
Council
I
by
withdraw.
itself.
I withdraw that. I'm on the wrong page. Let's go to one, CSA1 and H1. Say it again now?
Take the vote for
Oh.
the city council.
Okay, Madam Clerk.
So that is for DR1, CSA-4, H4, and P1. And calling the vote for the city council. Can I have a motion?
I made both
We
motions.
did that.
Yes, but we have
Separately, so moved. C1.
Second.
You're the boss. First and second, first by Morales, second by Franklin.
council members. Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. All right. So now we're going to go back up to item 1, CSA1 and H1. Move allowed payment of the bills.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council, successor agency, and housing authority members. Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 through 11.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council member
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Aye. CI1.
Initiative by Mayor James T. Butts Jr. recommending the adoption of an executive order number 20-01 to declare the following. Number one, the local emergency is extended
To the
authorized-
maximum extent.
Oh, sorry about that. Maximum extent. Authorized by the state law. Any order promulgated by the mayor to provide for the protection of life and property pursuant to the government code section 8 by the city council at the earliest practicable time. No landlord shall evict a resident local emergency whose financial hardship is directly linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. The passage of this executive order does not relieve a tenant of its obligations to pay rent, nor restricts the landlord's ability to recover rent due. Tenants have 6 months from the termination of the local emergency by the city or termination by the state emergency to pay back the rent owed.
So moved, but Mayor, do you want to have a
There'll
discussion?
definitely be discussion.
And I second.
Okay, the first and second. Okay, a couple things. First, under number 3, we need to change the spelling of whose to WHOSE as opposed to the possessive pronoun. And then secondly, in addition to this, it is my belief this is meant to extend the protections from eviction to commercial tenants as well as residential tenants. It also has come to my attention and other council members' attention that there are other impacts on the residents as it relates to this emergency that's been declared. One of the big ones is parking. I have asked for a study of the generation of parking citations related to street sweeping. It appears that there was confusion generated when the mayor of Los Angeles announced a moratorium on street sweeping citations in the city. It's a difference in that city and this city because we do trash pickup on the same day as street sweeping, and so we cannot just abdicate the authority to make sure that trash can be picked up. That being said, I believe that we need to look and see how this has impacted our residents, particularly those that were confused, and make adjustments if we find it to be necessary. Further, there's the issue of trash pickup for commercial businesses that have not been allowed to be in operation and have not generated trash. And there's an issue of fundamental fairness as it relates to them being charged by the city for trash pickup for a month where they generated no trash. And that needs to be explored in greater depth. Councilman Morales had some ideas about what we could do to assist in the parking situation.
Thank you, Mayor.
And
If I may.
I'm going to give it over to you as it relates to relieving the pressure on residents that are at home all day. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'm open to any suggestion you have on the relief that might exist for the residents who were ticketed, because I believe you're right. I believe that there was confusion as to who was allowed to park with no actual tickets being given, and since it was so widely announced in the media. So I think you're right about the confusion. In addition to that, and the mayor mentioned, I mentioned as well, I think it's extremely important that we continue to allow our services, being trash and street sweeping, to take place. However, during that time frame, and however much you wanted to discuss expanding it, I was mentioning that we should open up our city lots around the city during that time, during the week, so that folks that cannot find parking, that are now at home, can park there at least to make it through the time period that we have posted, so that our trash can be picked up and our street sweeping can be picked up. I know that I actually represent an area that is exhausted in parking, and if we don't do something that shows, the fact that we understand that now there's a variety of people at home, we're just going to see this on a weekly basis. So, Mayor, I'd like to enter that into the discussion as well as a friendly amendment.
All this is a discussion, because what would have to happen is we would have to come back, generate a staff report to discuss these items, because this has not been agendized. So this is just a discussion at this point, and call for a special meeting on Friday.
Okay.
To explore this when it's been noticed and the public could have a chance to weigh in.
Okay.
And Councilman Franklin had one more anecdote. These are only anecdotes at this point.
Yeah, so first of all, Mayor and Councilman Morales, thank you very much for bringing up the parking issue. That has escalated because of the misunderstanding of what was being imposed by the city of Los Angeles versus us in maintaining the status of the Inglewood Municipal Code for the city of Inglewood for parking. But there's been another issue that's raised regarding the businesses that have dealt with either closures or the business substantially been hit hard by the COVID-19, and I want to weigh in for the billings that the city provides, particularly whether utility bills being the water or sewer. There's been a new items that come up regarding alarm permits and business license. So if we bring those up for discussions for our next meeting, I'd appreciate it.
All right. Okay, with that, Madam Clerk.
Just to clarify, Mayor.
The move adoption has been motion's been made by Councilman Morales, and we don't have a second as
I
yet.
second it.
Okay, and a second. So we have a second.
Okay.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Padilla.
Aye.
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 Aye. And to clarify for people that are watching the council meeting, the main thrust of this amendment extends the eviction protections to commercial tenants as well as residential tenants.
And also, Mayor, if I can clarify something.
Yes.
You mentioned that you were going to bring forward some options to perhaps consider providing relief to the folks who were misguided in terms of receiving a ticket.
Absolutely.
And you will be bringing it back at a special meeting. And I say that just to clarify for folks that might be watching with that issue.
Right. That was a discussion that will be brought back on an agenda this Friday for a special meeting. All those items.
Thank you.
All right. Item A1, CSA 7, and P4. Oh.
Ken.
I'm sorry, Mayor. I have it as CS1, CSA 5, and P2 for the first one item, which was a closed session regarding litigation between MSG and the city of Inglewood. It was a joint meeting with the city, the successor agency, and the parking authority. As to that item, discussion held, direction given to staff. The second item, Mayor, is CS2, CSA 6, and P3. Again, that was a joint meeting between the city of Inglewood, the successor agency, and the parking authority. And that matter was Inglewood residents against taking and evictions versus city of Inglewood et al. As to that matter, there was a joint meeting between the city council, the successor agency, and the parking authority. And in that matter, a discussion was held, direction given to staff.
Item, adjourn the Parking Authority, item A2.
Mayor, if that's the close,
Oh, we did, we sure did.
That
I
was
liked, I
first.
liked it so much. I wanted,
Do it again.
let's do it again. A3.
Mayor, if that's the, for the city attorney's office, no comment regarding the city attorney.
CM1,
No comments from the city manager's office.
CT1.
Skipped me, CC.
I did say CC1. I'm sorry, CC1. Respect.
It's the principal.
CT1.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending December 31st, 2019.
Receive and file. CT2. All reports to city treasurer.
It's
Why don't you let her use your microphone? Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Just like to give a monthly treasure report as of December 31st. And again, there's copies on the tables for those to pick up. For the City of Inglewood, funds under management, total cash and investment, $86,163,222. The gross investment interest earnings to service debt, $3,022. And the gross investment interest earnings is $98,733. Successor agency, funds under management, $47,305,299. Gross investments earnings to service debt, $19,274. Housing Authority, $106,952. Joint Powers Authority, $9,109,713. And the interest to service debt, $3,425. Total funds under management to service debt is $142,685,186. And I'd like also to, I didn't get a chance to give this report last week. I want to just continue on with a special thank you to Yakima Decor and her partner, Ms. Lowe, who provided me with some good information for a resident who called me regarding their being evicted after living in their single-family residence for 22 years. And I was informed that there's no remedy for condos and single-family residents. So thank you for giving her direction, Yakima and Ms. Lowe. And also I want to acknowledge some outstanding other law enforcement officers, and also Cindy Eller. Some years ago, I served as senior community, as a former volunteer coordinator under Chief Rosan. And I had a little office there in his department. And as a matter of fact, former Sergeant Minnie Butts and Diane Robinson were my supervisor. I used to ride around in the police car with the officers. So I really enjoyed that, and that was before I was treasurer. So I've actually served under 5 police chiefs and 3 city administrators and 3 city managers and multiple acting city managers and 10 former council members. And I'd like to acknowledge these officers. And I've already sent these notifications to Chief Mark. Officer Espinoza, badge number 893. Officer Kiefer, Kiefer, badge number 887. Officer N. Mann, 1026. Officer M. Rodriguez, badge number 7198 or 7298. And Officer Victica, Viteca, badge number 1053. And Officer R. Downey, badge number 1007. They've just been providing just some exceptional service to the community, going around and monitoring homes and offering help to residents. So these are some of our many outstanding officers. And Cindy Edler has just done a remarkable job, with the homeless. There was a young man that was on the corner of Century and Prairie. I often stopped to help him. He would never accept any clothing, but he would accept the money. But she went one step further. She picked that guy up and took him out to the Veterans Affairs and got him his benefits, and now he's a productive citizen. So I certainly want to thank her, for for her wonderful service. And again, the free income tax service program had to be canceled due to the coronavirus. Both of my people in my office have gotten sick with the flu and have been sick over the past 7 months. But I finished all of the returns, and the last batch can be picked up this Friday by appointment. So everyone has already made their appointments. So that concludes my comments and my report.
Thank you. Any persons who wish to address the city council on any matter connect?
Mayor, we got the other.
Oh, we sure do. We got all this other stuff.
Housing, we have to do the minutes, sorry.
That's okay. CSA 2.
Approval of the minutes for the successor agency meeting held on March 10th, 2020.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Successor agency members, Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. CSA 3.
Monthly Treasurers Report for the month ending December 31st, 2019.
Receive and file adjourn the successor agency. H2.
Approval of the minutes for the Housing Authority meeting held on March.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Housing Authority members, Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. H3.
Monthly Treasurers Report for the month ending.
So moved.
Receive and file.
Receive and file. Adjourn Housing Authority. The Joint Powers Authority is in session. JPA 1.
Treasurers Report for the month ending December.
Receive and file. Adjourn the Joint Powers Authority. No appointments to boards, commissions, and committee. Public comment. Any persons wishing to address the city council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. Hearing no comment, we'll close public comment. Mayor and council remarks. Are there any council remarks? With that, we will adjourn the meeting. And again, I intend to call for a special meeting for Friday morning. You know, I will